Open up. I want to thank all of you for being on board here tonight. My name is Reverend Dr. Robert L. Screen Sr. I'll be your facilitator and host for tonight's meeting of the 210 Traffic Safety Committee for this month of May, of the 20th. I want to thank all of you for being with us here tonight. Don't have as many presenters as we normally have, but I think we have interesting information for each and every one of us, regardless of the last 30 days of events. Again, we thank all of you for taking interest and time to come on board for this meeting, because I think an informed community is an empowered community. And I want to thank all of you for thinking enough to be with us, that we can share information with you from the latest things that we as a committee have received and what we're trying to plan for the.
I guess Axel.
I think somebody needs to kind of mute out a little bit, but we welcome all of you and thank you so much for being with us. As we normally do, we kind of get right to the point of our presentation, so we can all start off, I guess, with a sense of awareness of what the occurrences of the last 30 days regarding our police department here in Prince George's County. And the presentation for that, I guess, perspective will come from Captain Martin, who has been very diligent and faithful presenter for us, representing District 7 of Fort Washington Road. Captain Martin, we welcome you and thank you so much for being with us and being so faithful with us in each month of giving up the up-to-date data and report happenstance on Indiana Highway. So we're going to turn it right over to you, sir, and let you give us the, I guess, the updated version of the last 30 days and anything we may have that we need to take note of for the future. So Captain Philip Martin, we turn over the presentation to you, sir.
All right, good evening, everyone. My mic working okay tonight?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Well, I'll be pretty brief. Just happens to coincide. This is our monthly joint enforcement day. So first I'll start talking about that. So today we had officers from Division 7. Again, this past Sunday, the 19th, was the first day that all of Prince George's County Police switched over to our new 12-hour schedule, so that in each of the division stations that eliminated that 5th squad. So that's the end of our overlap, but we will definitely continue with our enforcement, policing with what we have. So we got troopers from the Forestville Barracks out today. Their commercial motor vehicle enforcement division was out today. I was surprised that our motors came out. Special operations seemed to surprise me. I always invite them, and the last couple of times I don't hear back, and then they show up. So I've been happy both times. They always do great for us. And actually, Division 4 sent 2 of their cops officers down as well, and they were pulling traffic as well. And then I had, unfortunately, Corporals Blackwell and Reinecker both had a couple things going on that our new Sergeant Wood was out there. So we had a pretty good result. So I'll just give you total with MSP and Prince George's County. So in total, we had 169 stops. That's right up there with as much as we have been getting each of these days. 83 citations, 174 warnings. Vehicle repair orders, CROs, we had 28 of those. It looks like 1 vehicle search, 2 warrants were served, and 1 vehicle was impounded. I'm pretty happy with all those numbers for 1 day's of work. We're definitely going to continue that. Basically, since we've started that, Commander White has been very open and appreciative of these ability for us to all work together. So we're going to keep that going as much as possible. I was set up, we got our new laser units that we got from the Bureau Patrol last month. So we brought some of those out there, and I played around with mine a little bit. So I was set up at northbound just prior to Old Fort Road, and I think northbound traffic had seen plenty of police by then. So I was pretty happy with what I saw for the speed. I didn't see too much at that point. I think people were getting the idea by then. We did pull over 3 at 75 miles per hour, wrote some tickets there. I wrote some tickets. One of them was also a suspended license, so he got a couple tickets. And plenty of, you know, I was very appreciative for just sitting there and pointing the laser in a location where they're not accustomed to it. So I wasn't necessarily jumping on every stop. I appreciated just sitting there and surprising people for one day and kind of giving that in the future about not knowing where we're going to be sitting the next time. So I think that's just as successful as these drivers seeing a vehicle pulled off on the side, not knowing why, seeing that laser unit actually pointing at them and being a little shocked. So we're very happy with that. I don't have the next date yet. I got to talk to Commander White, but we'll definitely keep that going in the future. I'm sure you'll have some updates on the speed cam. I didn't get a very good response from Commander Smith that I could understand, so I'm sure you know a lot more on that, so I'll let you speak on that. The only other thing I noticed on 210, it seems like there had been some of the traffic posts that were repaired around the mall. I don't know if you saw some of those brand new ones where the crossover from southbound to northbound, that crossover that had been blocked off had been knocked down so people could kind of sneak through that. So I'm not sure when it was repaired, but I did notice that in the past couple weeks. I did notice we're probably at about 3 that had been knocked down, and I just happened to be pulled over next to that, trying to set up for my next laser unit, laser usage. And I noticed one of the posts was right in the middle of 210 in the southbound lanes. So I backed up and couldn't get to it before a driver ran over the base and cracked it. So I'm not sure, because when I look at it, it's not like an entire line of the posts have come down. So I'm not sure how drivers are able to kind of pick up one and leave the other ones. So I'm not sure if that has to do with the installation or it's somehow drivers are managed to knock one down. But anyhow, we are appreciative that was repaired. There has been a couple knocked down, but hopefully we get to see some more of that and some of the more signage that we need to help us with our enforcement, so people can't play games at some of these, you know, dedicated turn lanes and whatnot. That's all I got. They want to take questions now or wait to the end, Reverend?
Well, I had a couple I wanted to submit to you. What was the hours of your operation, and what areas did you focus on? And was this all today that this occurred?
Yeah, we get MSP out there for the joint days on one day. We obviously you know, we do it all the time, but for the joint days we do that for one day. It looks like state troopers always get out there pretty early, so it looks like their hours were 6 to 2, and we were out there about 8 until noon.
Okay.
With ours. Another question too?
Is there another question from Captain Martin?
I don't have a question, but I sure thank you and the other troopers. Greatly appreciate it, that's for sure.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I make my friends always send me the screenshot that he's got from some of these Facebook groups, and it was, you know, 90% positive today. So not that I care one way or the other. If it makes people angry, we'll still be out there, but I'm seeing mostly positive reactions. They're happy that since the cars are on the shoulder, that people aren't driving on the shoulder. So
Reverend Screen,
Especially, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, Reverend Screen, you did ask what locations.
Yes. What area did you focus on?
from Charles County until DC.
Okay,
Normally,
so-
when we've been working with MSP, I kind of give them Swan Creek North. They work that area since they have enough people, and all of the PG officers, Swan Creek south to the Charles County line.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Well, we certainly thank you. I think Tamara, do you have something else?
Only thing, I don't have a question. I'm passing along a comment that I've seen on Nextdoor, and they say, why do you guys give warnings? Why don't you just give tickets? That'll stop them. So you don't have to answer that question. I'm just passing it on.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't. Well, I guess if they go to our Facebook and they see how many citations are written, so it's not that people are getting off, because we had a good, you know, out of our 169 stops, roughly half of those resulted in citations. But I personally, I always delve into somebody's history real quick as much as I can on the scene. If anybody hasn't learned their lesson with their citation or warning, they get a citation. If somebody's learning their lesson on this day and I don't see any recent history, then they get a warning. And that's pretty much how I run myself, and I can't really speak to absolutely everybody else, but we do encourage citations as much as possible, especially the speeding.
Okay. Well, Captain Martin, we certainly thank you and everyone involved for your diligence, for your work. And thank goodness that you're all, I'm assuming all came from the day safely. But you certainly made it safe for the rest of us by having your presence out there with the Maryland State Troopers. And we can encourage, I think you told me this will be once a month. Is that correct on that?
Yes, working with them at least once a month and definitely more frequent in-house at Division 7.
Well, once again, thank you so much. Job well done. If you can hold on for us, there may be some other questions later on during the course of the meeting here today, but great job, and we thank you. All of us thank you for all of what you're doing.
All right, thank you guys.
Okay, well, we'll go right into who we have our next presenter, who we usually have in pretty much a sequence each month. We'll go right to our State Highway Administrator Representative Peter Kapanides. I see you're on the line. So
Good
Peter,
evening.
if it would be okay with you, we'll turn over the podium to you and let you enlighten us for what is the last 30 days worth of information or what we have forthcoming.
Great. Thank you and good evening, everyone. I'm going to be speaking kind of on behalf of Dr. Mark France in regards to some of the data that has been collected. And so they're actively evaluating the section of Maryland 210 from the Charles County line to Maryland 228 as far as the travel speeds, the effectiveness of the treatments that have been
Peter,
installed.
Peter, just someone wants you to increase your volume a little bit. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just saw that on the chat message.
Can you hear me now?
A little better, yes.
Okay. So the State Highway Administration has been working with the University of Maryland Cat Lab and trying to perform a research project to see if certain treatments would assist in slowing traffic down. We chose the section of Maryland 210 from the Charles County line to Maryland 228, and in mid to late January, we installed various treatments, flex posts, quick curb with that appeared to have the flex post, and then quick curb that has the flat panels. I went out there today. I've been going out there on a semi-regular basis to see the effectiveness of the or how effective the treatments are. Essentially, the only treatments that appear to be still up and or have shown to be the most effective is the quick curb with the flat panels. At this point in time, I am awaiting some important information from Dr. France in regards to data that shows if in fact the treatments that were installed were effective. And I'm not looking to install every location with flat panels, but I am going to make sure that wherever they're installed, that they're not creating a sight distance issue approaching the intersections of Independence Road, Pine Drive, and Pine Lane. So they'll likely be between intersections. But that's only if that's all dependent upon the data that I received from Dr. France. Now, I'm going to share my screen. Now I'm going to see if I can do this. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Okay, what you should see on the top left corner is campus visit to discuss research project. Okay,
yes,
so, so what this shows, this chart shows a breakdown of, it actually, well, I'll tell you what it shows. I'll read it from here. This data covers the period between November 2022 and March 2023, and only includes the trips and the Michelin origin destination data. The percentage of trips were called out, that come from Prince George's and Charles County, but it also includes other counties as well as trips from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia. And what this data shows is that 43.93% of the traffic that is traveling within that period of time, it is coming from Prince George's County, while 16.65% is coming from Charles County.
Hmm.
So and then 6.76%, that's the next largest from what I can see, comes from the district. So it's very interesting data that most of the origin destination trips along 210 are primarily from Prince George's and Charles counties.
yes.
So the one thing that I'm not comfortable verifying is, I guess you see the numbers on the right side. I'm not sure if that's the total number of trips. That seems these numbers seem a little high, so I'm going to have to get confirmation from Dr. France about that. But yeah, I guess that would be a sampling that is cumulative. So, okay, I think I just answered my own question. So, when we think of average annual daily traffic, it's usually in the total number of of data points collected, and we go through a process of dividing it over the course of a 12-month period, and then average it. And then go through some calculations to get the average annual daily traffic. So so that number on the right side is a cumulative number. I can send that to you, Ron. I know I can see the look on your face. I'll send it to you all, and you can kind of see for yourselves. I thought it was something that was worth sharing with all of you because all of us have been interested in trying to figure out, where, I guess, where most of who may be the culprits in terms of the speeding concerns that occur along Maryland 210.
Peter, can you break down and define a little bit more clearly the origin destination aspect of this chart? Can you, I mean, in terms of I guess be a little bit more clear in how this is being interpreted?
So this is where I'm going to do the best I can to try and explain this. So Michelin is the company that does your tires, among other things, and but they also are in the business of collecting various pieces of data, and one of the pieces of data that apparently they collect is origin destination data, And so, a lot of the so they collect data for all the roadways that, are in the United States. And so one of the points that, they happened to collect, was along Maryland 210 per the request of, the CAT Lab, to assist them in, their data collection for the study. And so they, I believe they had some, data collection done, per their own equipment, and they collected this data showing where the trips are coming from. I believe that they use, they may be using cell phone information, but it's completely superficial. It's not, they're not trying to collect anything more specific than the unit that travels along the roadway itself. And I think this is how they were able to determine where the trips are coming from along
Okay.
210.
Okay. Okay. I think
Uh,
Ron
But
Weiss
what I
had,
will do is I will send this information to you all, and I will copy Dr. France. And any questions that you have, he'll be able to give you a better, hopefully more coherent answer.
okay. Well, sounds good. I know you're doing your best. I wanted to give Ron, he's had his hand up. He wants
Yes,
to
Ron.
give a question to
Hi,
you.
Ron. How are
Hi,
you?
Peter,
Great.
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good.
My question was, is this for the entire length of 210 from the district line to Charles County line, or all the way down to Indian Head, or the Charles County line to 228?
I can comfortably say that it's probably, Charles, it encompasses, Charles County in that section of 210 from the county line to 228. But I would ask, Dr. France for clarification on that.
Yeah, well, I asked that because I think most of the Charles County traffic on 210 is coming from 228. So if this data doesn't show north of 228, then I can understand these numbers, but
Okay,
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 thank you.
sure.
Okay, we don't have a lot of presenters here tonight, so we have a little bit more time to kind of get to our presenters with any questions you may have from the audience.
I'll stop sharing. Is it okay if I
Okay.
stop sharing? I
Were
should ask
there
that
any
question.
other questions for Peter from the audience? Okay. Well, let me move on from there. Peter, thank you so much. Did you have anything else that you wanted to share with us, Peter?
No, not at this time.
Okay, one question I had, you spoke about the flex poles to some degree. How soon will you be able to replace some of the flex posts I'm speaking of? Some of those have been out, I guess, kind of just in bad shape or knocked down, that sort of thing. And I know there's issues with funding now, but we could really use I guess, a refreshing or revamping of and replacement of many of the areas where flex poles are posted. So can you speak to that somewhat?
Summer is when I'm planning on getting the ones along the shoulders replaced at the various locations that where flex posts were installed, so it's primarily in the northbound direction where I've seen it the worst. So approaching Swan Creek Road, approaching Fort Washington Road, approaching Old Fort Road North. My plan is to replace those with the flat panel quick curb, but we're going to be a little bit more strategic in terms of how they're placed.
Okay,
So I'm looking to put 2 because they are formidable. I'm not gonna have like a series of a series set of 4, for example. Yeah, I
Okay.
think you've seen that. I'm looking at putting them in pairs,
okay,
okay, and spacing them strategically to do the very thing of deterring. I'm waiting for some additional information from Dr. France as far as determine whether the treatments that we put did have some effect on getting traffic to slow down. If the results come back positive, I will basically do a modification to
okay,
the way that these treatments were installed. I want to also confirm that I saw the police out in force along 210. I was out there today and I was like, wow, I have never seen so much police out there in my life. It was incredible to see. What I also, I guess, sort of as a so that's what I'm waiting for. I will know more in the coming days as far as that's concerned. And but if the outcome is positive, it's going to be flat panels. I mean, those are the
Okay.
ones that are the most effective. And I think
okay,
everybody
Okay.
on this call, it would be pretty much in agreement that if we were to do anything, that would be the
Okay.
material to use. One thing that I forgot to mention, and Ron sent out emails on this. There is a SHA public meeting scheduled for June 4th
yes,
to discuss the next 2 intersections for interchange upgrade, and that's for Palmer Road and for Old Fort Road North. Let me go to my email real quick.
yeah, that's going to be at Friendly High School on the 4th.
Second. I know it's June 4th. Yeah, it's at Friendly High School, 10,000 Allentown Road in Fort Washington. So the public meeting is scheduled from 6 to 8 p.m.
Yes. Yes, thank you
So
for
something to look forward to.
making that announcement.
Yeah.
I think that would be something of interest to the community.
And I will be there, so
Okay.
in person, I'll be one of the people representing SHA.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So,
Okay,
there was someone who had a question.
yes, there was Mr. Barnes, I believe it was Alfred Barnes, if you'd like to.
Thank you. I think you clarified it though, Mr. Campanelli, but you were talking about the flex posts being the flat panels. I was going to ask about that, but are the flat panel ones, I don't know if you've been down 295 going north. They've installed some different kind of flex post as you come on the Pennsylvania Avenue exit.
Yes, I've seen that. Yes.
Is that the
I
same one you're
know
talking about?
it's a little bit different, but the idea is the same. So
Okay.
so this is actually quick curb. So there's it's hard plastic and there's delineation, that's attached to it, similar to the treatment that you just shared. But it's gonna be just one long segment. They say long segment, it's just 36 inches long. And then you'll have the flat panel, as opposed to just having a base and then the vertical, like there is on Pennsylvania Avenue. I know exactly what you're talking about, because that was the way I came back this early this afternoon. So, but it seems to be working okay. I mean, I've seen it for the past couple of months. It doesn't look like anybody's touched it. So. but
Yeah, they seem to be holding up pretty steady.
Yeah. Ms. Hall?
Yes, Ms. Hall, yes, you have the question.
Yes, on 301 Route 5 by Bannister Ford heading southbound. They have some flex posts over there that are pretty sturdy looking, and are those the same type you're referring to? Because I think with the police and the state troopers doing what they're doing, and then with those more intimidating looking flex posts, which I've been talking about for the last several months, I think that it's going to send a message to folk on 210. Something is being done behind the scenes, and here's what you're going to see with the
Yes.
police presence, the bill that we're working on, and then these flex posts.
Is this not in Brandywine? Like,
Well, not quite. It's over by Bannister Ford, Othway, heading like it's on where that new overpass is, but it's
Oh, there.
on Route 5. I saw them Sunday. So I'm wondering if it's gonna look something like that. Pretty, like I said, intimidating, just like the ones in DC that I've been talking about.
Unfortunately, I don't have a picture in my head of that, but
Well, the next
I
time I'm
don't-
over that way,
yeah.
I'm gonna try to get a picture safely.
yeah. Let me see if, well, I'll check Google. I'll let you know, but but please keep going. So. Way.
Okay, well, we know that you're going to have something there for us, but
Yes.
hopefully you'll get a chance to see what Ms. Hall is pointing out.
Yes.
And we hopefully we can get the best, something that's going to really, I think it's unfortunate some people, the ones that we have going southbound after 228 going towards the Charles County line, people seem to have taken target practice on them. They're just hitting them at random. But I think in terms of for those who are who are driving with a sense of civility, they do serve as to slow people down, keep people off the shoulders. But we just have this kind of rambunctious segment of some of the drivers that seem to have targeted them just to hit them and destroy them. But I think overall they're doing what they're supposed to do, and for the general public, kind of slow people down, or at least make people conscientious of their speed and keep them off of the shoulders. So job well done. As long as we can get them, I think they'll do the job they're intended to do for the general public. And so we hope to get as many as we can. Was there any other questions towards Peter regarding this the subject? Peter, thank you so much. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add, Peter? Any other insights that you want to drop on this?
That's it. Yeah. Yep, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I am talking softly, aren't I?
Yeah, sure. That's okay. We got the last part there.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Peter.
He carries a big stick.
Ron, you said something?
Thank you.
Okay.
I carry a big stick.
You carry a
according
big
to
stick.
Ron.
Okay. There you go. I saw someone, don't see the name, but someone had their hand up briefly, but I guess they took it back down. So I guess we're okay. Okay, well, listen, I wanted to move ahead for a little bit, and kind of discuss some things in light of, what has been brought to our attention from Captain Martins and his report and the very successful day they've had today and the numbers they've had. And I really want to convey to all of us that, you know, we still are dealing with a very active and very dangerous highway on Indian Head Highway. The numbers that Captain Martin gave us here today with 169 stops, 83 citations, 174 warnings. And then I think it was about a month and a half ago, he had, I think it was 70 some odd citations, 162 warnings, I believe it was. So your activity and your presence is in addition to the camera activity that we have, which basically lets all of us know, in addition to the cameras, we have this kind of activity going on when we have, you know, the presence of the enforcement vehicles on the road and able to catch people in between the gaps of the cameras. Let me just go back reflecting. I have not received a report of late of the camera activity. Just to let you know about the new cameras, we should be, when the cameras come back up and running, we thought they would be in place. The new ones I'm speaking of were supposed to have been in place at the end of last month, end of April. What has happened in the background, apparently the new Genoptic cameras had to have a permit from Prince George's County for their locations. I don't know exactly where the cameras, the new ones, are going to be placed. We're talking about 6 cameras now. Overall, these 3 additional cameras were what we had won last year through legislation in 23. So adding on to the 3 already there, the locations I think would generally be in pretty much the same areas, at least for some of the ones that are in existence or in place right now. But behind the scenes, before Genoptic, the new contractor of the speed cameras, were able to place them, they had to get permits for their locations. I was speaking, well, I wasn't speaking, but I got texts back and forth from Miss Katie Nash, who's representative with Genoptic, the camera, name of the new contractor, Genoptic, last Friday, as a matter of fact. And what she gave me in terms of up to date was that all of the permits have been secured, and that Genoptic had secured also, I think it's 20 of about 60 of the 60 plus new cameras that are to be placed in Prince George's County. Now I've got assurance from Captain Jason Smith, who is with the Automated Enforcement Division, the gentleman who actually deals with the speed cameras, that the first batch of cameras that would be placed on Indian Head Highway. So I am personally looking for them something to change this week. I don't have that confirmed, but basically from what I've been told in terms of getting the permits secured and getting the cameras secured, the next thing would be the cameras would be placed in their respective locations. Again, we in the 210 Traffic Safety Committee were asked to weigh in on some of the new locations for the cameras. We don't know if they will be adhered to in terms of our suggestion, but I believe for the most part, the 3 camera locations that we have now will probably be once again, at least in the ballpark, the cameras of the newer cameras. And then the other three, you know, we don't know. We've made some suggestions. I don't want to go into, you know, where we have suggested things to be, because they may, you know, the police may put them in someplace completely different. But just know that we were asked to weigh in. I think the locations that we've had thus far, without question, have been the hot spots. And I wanted to digress a little bit, going back into the entirety of the year 23 in summation, and why, again, as I started out in my discourse here a moment ago in talking about how dangerous this road is, I'm looking at the summation of what 2023 gave us in terms of totality of infractions for the 12 months of 2023. There were 40,050 reported infractions between the three cameras. 40,050 between the 12 months, January to December of 23. That averaged out to about 3,300 infractions per month. 3,300 and some odd fractions, and that's about right. When I look from month to month, they went from about 3,500, 4,000 some months, but somewhere plateauing in that 3,000 plus category. Now, a lot of people will say, well, how do you digest it? How do you compare that? What does that look like? Well, I can only say that from the very beginning, when we got our first three cameras, and they came on board back in 2019 in July, things were just so haywire until the cameras' presence started to bring the numbers down. We were close to between 5,000 and 6,000 people infractions within a 30-day period. So coming down to about 3,300 per month on an average, we can see there's a plateau, but it's still too high. Particularly when we're talking about the cameras, all of them are mobile, but pretty much the cameras have been in the same place the duration of time they've been there. So people knowing where the cameras are, and we're still getting these kind of numbers of about 3,000 some odd people, per month that are going over 67 plus miles an hour. We had, as a summation total for the year 23, over 608 people going over 100 miles an hour. The average high speed, and this is what's disturbing, the average high speed for the 12 months of 2023 was 151 miles per hour on any hit highway. When I take in context those types of numbers, 151 miles per hour as an average high speed, over 608 people going over 100 miles per hour for cameras that everyone knows where they are, that lets you know the type of temperament that we have in drivers on the roadway. Now, also, you take in context of what Captain Martin has given us today. Still 174 warnings, still 169 stops, still 71 citations. And this is what we're dealing with. So our move is still, from the committee's perspective, is still to try to move in a direction of getting the infraction fine structure to be revamped. And that's what we tried to get done through legislation this year. Unfortunately, didn't pass. But we're not giving up that initiative. We still want to move forward to get the fine structure revamped, and the fine structure would be revamped from a static $40 to a tier structure level, going from $40 to up to over $500, depending on how fast you're going, in 10-mile-per-hour increments. That is still our desire. That is still our initiative to move forward in 25. Now, are cameras the magic bullet? No, there are no magic bullets out here. And for people who want to make an argument about oh, well, the cameras are doing this and cameras are doing that. Cameras have shown to be effective to slow people down across this country, not just here in, you know, the DMV, but across the country. That's why they're being utilized across the country. They do slow people down. Will they completely eradicate the problem? No, they will not. I think we're moving in the direction of something that can be a better answer, and that is having road enforcement with both state and county vehicles and the cameras to be able to be a more complete package to get people to basically slow down and change the behavior. That's what we're up to. That's what we're trying to do, is to change the behavior. And part of that will be the cameras. It's good to know that at least once a month, there's going to be a joint operation on Indiana Highway between state and county. This is something we haven't had. we haven't had it, put it that way. We haven't had it in the past. And so I think the addition of the new cameras coming on board, which are going to be much more effective in terms of their the technological benefits they bring forth, their sharpness in terms of being able to be more exacting, their ability to be more sharp in terms of getting data, being able to get high speeds that we weren't not able to get with the former cameras, higher speeds, and still, you know, be able to track and get the good information. People who are trying to veil over their tag numbers, they can read through the veils and still get the tag numbers. Those types of things and technological advancements and benefits. These cameras are going to be a paradigm shift in terms of the technological advancement they're going to give us. And along with having road coverage at least once a month, that's going to help us quite a bit. And we're going to need it because our numbers are showing we just have still too many people that are going too fast on this highway. I want to announce something, and I'm going to ask that all of the committee members, as well as Ms. Huggins, J.L. Huggins, and Ms. Dolores Holmes, if she's on, to stay with us about 5 minutes after we close down the meeting, because I have something I need to discuss with all of us while we're together. But one of the things I wanted to announce is one thing we're tentatively trying to put together is to have a memorial service regarding our victims, our road victims. We're tentatively trying to put something together in the month of July, the end of July, that would recognize the many, many, many families who have lost family members, friends, acquaintances on this highway, and to recognize them in a memorial service that we're looking to hold indoors. This time we've had 2 that we've done in the past so many years outside in the area of the location where we lost the 8 people back here in 2008. But we're going to give more specific information about this service as we move through the next so many weeks, in particular when we come together in the month of June. But I want to discuss some things with our members regarding that. And Ms. Huggins and Ms. Dolores Holmes, and she's on the call for about a few minutes after we succeed our meeting here tonight. But I want all of us to know that the 210 Traffic Safety Committee is very diligently working with things behind the scenes. We're going to have a very important meeting tomorrow with one of the delegates from the General Assembly regarding matters of things about traffic safety here on Indiana Highway. We are very serious about trying to change the temperature here on this roadway. Please, all of us, do not take this road for granted. There's still just too many people that are doing things that are just way out of the zone of safe. I think Peter probably can still testify. I think it's somewhere around 80,000 people a day that are recorded to be on this roadway, this highway. Seems like it's increasing, Peter, because I see a whole lot more people coming from Charles County. coming down Indian Head Highway from our vantage point in Akakeek. And I don't know if the current numbers have, or the numbers have been changed recently, but we have a lot of folks on this roadway. And I know that Ron is one to say, well, it's only 1%, but 1% of 80,000 people on a 14-mile roadway, you got 800 people. That's really, I put it this way. When you think about 80,000 people in a 14-mile span of roadway, you're really talking about a very condensed situation where some of the people who are doing these zany things in high speeds, they're probably right there with you because they're condensed. This is not like 95 going, 80,000 people going up and down, from Washington, D.C. to Florida, something like that. You're talking about 14-mile span of roadways. So the people who are doing the things, the repeat offenders, the people who are doing the high speeds, you're probably seeing them all the time. You're right there with them. And that's what's scary. And it doesn't take a lot to shut Indian Head Highway down in major fashion. Some of us on this line right here tonight can testify to that. Back here in October, then I think actually a year before, we had a very devastating accident right there at Fort Washington Road, shut the road down between 5 and 6 hours, both ways. So when we have something happening on this roadway, it's devastating to everybody in the Indian Head Highway community if you're going to get on that road. That's why it's important with 80,000 people and 1% or 800 people going and doing, zany things. It doesn't take much. It only takes one monkey wrench to stop the machinery. That's all it takes. If somebody throws sand in the gears. We've got to deplete the number of grains of sand thrown in the gears. That's what we got to do. And hopefully we can be successful between hopefully the legislation that we hopefully can get passed to better put enforcement deterrent values in our fine structure, but also complementing with the enforcement package with state troopers and county police. I think we're moving in the right direction for all of us and for our safety. So that's the kind of summation of what, that's the only summation I wanted to bring to each one of us. We're still in the throes of trying to put things piece to piece together for our better safety. Are there any questions, comments that any one of us wants to make before we shut down here for the evening?
Yes, Dr. Rivers Green, can you hear me, Herb Jones? Yeah,
Yes.
A real quick question. Just a real quick question I have for Peter. Good evening, everyone. The use of reflectors up and down 210. There's still an issue as you're coming over Woodrow Wilson Bridge, taking the exit to 210. If it's raining or foggy, it's hard to make out the white lines, depending on where you are on 210. So is there some talk about not so much redesign, but putting down reflectors so in the inclement weather, especially rain, you can see a demarcation from one lane to the other?
I'll look into it. I'll see when maintenance has their next project to put the reflectors down. I'll check into it, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. I see there's I don't have the person's name. I see 301-292-0715. You had your hand up. Okay, I don't see it come back up. So are there any other comments or questions that anyone have? Okay, everybody's quiet. So I guess we're good. Well, once again, I want to thank all of you for being on board with us. Our next meeting will be Monday, June the 17th. Same time, same place, same station as they say. But I want to thank all of you again. Your presence here lets me know that you have a thirst and hunger to find out what's happening in your community. You care about your community on the roadway, and it's a good sign to see that you're willing to take the time to be on this call to get the updated information, things present, past, and for future enlightenment. So God bless all of you. I thank you for being with us. Again, the committee itself welcomes you and thank you for everything you do to encourage us by being here. And we're gonna lock arms together and continue to work piece by piece, day by day, event by event to move ahead for a better community on this roadway. I think it's achievable. We just have to work towards it. So again, if there are no further questions or no further comments, we will call it a night. Until next time, I'll just say God bless each one of you. Be safe on the road. And we'll see you again next month. Amen.
Amen.
Have a good
again-
evening.
Okay, for those of us on the, don't forget our members who 210 and Miss Yale Huggins and Mr. Dolores Holmes. You can hold on for about 5 minutes. Okay, everyone else, good night.